Hi and welcome to Restaurant Billing System developed using PHP, CSS, HTML, and Javascript. So let me show you guys how this works. Here I have a calculator that you can use just to cross-check whatever the cost of menu is. So let's assume you have nothing in there. You click on submit, that's what you get because there's nothing in there. So let's say we want to go for burger meal. Two of those, you all know the price for that. You can always check that out here, and that's the price, £1.95. Multiply that by 2, that's what you get. And let's check it out here. There we go, guys. That's what you guys get, including tax and subtotal. That's what you get. Now you can just enter your details there. Let's say your name is Sally South End. Date of birth, she's a lady, let's leave her alone. And telephone number, email address, I'm just going to enter whatever in there, and let's say is Johnny Road, that's fine. City and borough. Postcode. There. Now if I click on submit, look at what's going to happen. There we go. Please enter an email address. So the system asks you to enter an email address, and please do that. There. And that's all there is to it. Unfortunately, I did not add a database to this, so you guys can always figure that out. I already have a tutorial on board on how you can add database to a project like this. So what I'm going to do now is to take you guys straight into Notepad++. That's the editor I'm going to be using, and let's put one of these together. Let's do that now, guys. Okay, let's open up Notepad++. There, and the first thing I would like to do is to define the language I intend to use. So I'm going to select language right there. Scroll right down, you see where we have P. I'm going to select PHP, and then let me get my HTML tag on board there. And the next thing I will like to do now is to specify the style that I intend to use. So I'm going to just enter a tag in there, and let's say style, that's going to be type equals text/CSS. so that's how I want to do mine. If you like, you can always enter your CSS tag elsewhere. And right underneath here, I'm going to close off my style, and then right here I'm going to enter dot. This will be my first style, and let's enter curly braces there. That's the first style I intend to use. I'm going to have 4 of those actually, so let's just copy that to there. And this will be, let's make this one a button, BTN, and I'm going to make, no, let's leave that as style number 2. That is 2, and this one will be BTN. That will be for the calculator buttons, and for the other buttons this will be for the calculator buttons. So I'm just going to put C in front of the button. Now let's define my style. And for the very first style, so let me define the border. That will be border width. Let's say is going to be 0, and the other one is going to be the border. Let's go for border, make that solid, and let's say the color is going to be gray. For now I'm just going to say is 0 pixels, but let's just make that about 5. You can always change that. And the width of this project, I'm going to make it about 90%. And what about the border? Let's say border radius 5 pixels as well. And let's go for margin, and my margin will be 5 pixels auto. Then background color, I'm going to make that white. Right. Okay, so I'll just copy this around for the second one and carry out 1 or 2 changes on that. So the first changing on that, let's say this is going to be around 10, and this is going to be 90. Let's go for hash DDD 1 2 3. Yeah. So for the buttons, we just do the same thing. Okay, I'm going to declare the body, and the color for this body that I intend to use already is closed. So let's just say body, and the color, I'm just going to make the color a simple black, and right here 6 zeros, that will be black. Alright, so one other thing I like to do is, let me just add title and an image. So right here, I'm going to get it centered first. Let's make it center, and the image I intend to use, let me show you guys the images that I'm going to be using. Is one of my logos. So right there, that's one of the images I intend to use. I'm just going to pick on any of them, maybe this or that. Let's just look for anyone. Okay, maybe this. So press F2 and just copy the details there, and right here enter the tag for image, and let's say the source of the image is going to be this dot png. Right, and let's just close that up. The other thing I like to do is, let me enter the heading. As for the heading, I'm going to make the color, let's make that white this time around. You can just type in white, get that out of the way. And the style, I'm going to make the font, I'm not going to be using the CSS that I've written there, because I intend to carry out 1 or 2 changes here. Yeah, so let's make that about 80 pixels. Yeah, 80 pixels, so that's fine. Close that, and that is going to be, let's just call it billing system. There. Okay, before I go any further, let me save it first. Let's just come in here, file, save as. Okay, I'm just going to call it billing. Let's use a lowercase billing. Yeah, billing.php. So that's fine. There we go. So alright, so let me just run it and see how it's going to look like. Select run. I'm just going to select one of these browser. Let's go for, alright, that is it. So that's what I've done so far. So I'm going to minimize that. Then the next thing I want to do now is, maybe I should just draw a line underneath HR, and let's make the size about 5 pixels. And what about color? I'm going to make the color gray. Right, close that up. So make sure it's saved. We can run it again and just see how that's going to look like. That's it, the line is drawn. So now let's enter let's divide that. Right in here, I'm now going to create my table. So let's start by saying the table that I intend to use, and the class of that very table is going to be style number 1. Right, yeah, style number 1. That is the CSS that I declared up there. If you guys can still recall, this very one That's the one I'm using now. I'm calling it in for the table. Close that. There. So the next thing for this table is I'm going to create a row, and inside our row I will then define 3 columns. So let's say we have that to be for number 1, then we'll just take it from there. Close that. Copy this. Right. Okay, just to prove to you guys I have my 3 columns in place, I'm going to enter whatever in here, and let's come in here, enter whatever in here as well. And the next one I have 1. Oh, this one should be here. Cut that off, that should be here. Right there, and 1 more here. So I'm going to save that and just click on run. Let's see. There we go. 1, 2, and 3 columns. Right, that is it. Now let's close all of these, get rid of this, and get rid of this as well. I will then create, let's create a form in here. Create a form right in here, the very first table. Okay, then the next thing is I want to create another table right inside it. But first thing first, let's close this form. As you can see, I've added some PHP. So in here, create another table right in there. Close up this table. And inside this very table, I will now define as follows. I need as follows. Copy that, paste it in here, close that up, and close this as well. Close the row. Okay, the very first section that I've just declared now, I'm going to use this for the name. Let's say first name. Right. Okay, so let's bring this here. That's for my first name, and underneath I'm going to create another one right beside it. Yeah, and in here I will then specify the input. So let's say input type is going to be text input type, and the name for it. Yeah, and let's add a placeholder. Okay, inside that placeholder, I'm going to make that first name. There we go. And now I will also enter a width for it. So that's it. Let's come in here, save, and let's come right here, run it, and you guys see what I'm talking about. There we go. So that is it. The first placeholder, the first text box is created. So all I'm just going to do now, I'm just going to copy these. Let's copy these, all of these, come right down here, paste, and that will be for surname. And the same thing is going to apply to the surname. There we go. And the name is going to be surname. The name is like the variable that I intend to use. So if I save and come in here, this is what you guys will see. Cancel that, run, and there we go. I believe you get the whole idea, so I'm going to speed up this process and then get back to you guys shortly. Okay, that is it, all done for the very first column. So I'm gonna come up here and just run it so that you guys see how it looks like. That is how it looks like. And one other thing that I need now is I'm going to add one button there. So let's minimize this, and right underneath here, right underneath the postcode, let's come in here and we just add our button. Alright, that's going to be just for reset. So let's, maybe I should get it indented or de-indent it. Where is that? Yeah. Okay, let's save that and run that, see how the button look like. There we go, that's my button right here. So as for the button, I'm actually using the CSS declaration that I have up there. That's the class btn, and this is it right up here, btn. Right, let's come down here. Now the next thing is to work on the second column. Okay, the second column is taken care of. There they are. Those are the lines of code. I've also included the price for each item, and here I've used the PHP to call the variable. Like here you have the variable right there, that's the variable bmail, and that's where I've called it with a PHP multiplied by the cost. So whatever value you enter in there, if you enter 2 or 4, that will be 4 multiplied by £1.95. So that's what I've done there, and I've repeated the same thing for the other columns, for the other text box actually. And in here, that's where I've calculated all of the item. That's for the tax, and underneath is for subtotal, and right here is the total. That's all just for the 2 columns so far, and that's all there is to it. Now underneath here is going to be the calculator. Let me run this, you guys see how it looks like. Right now this is how it's looking. There's still some work to be carried out so that we can get rid of all of these errors that you guys are looking at. But finally, let's just enter the calculator here. So I'm going to collapse this, and right down here we just enter the lines of code for the calculator. I'm going to have to speed that up as well there. And in here are the lines of code for the calculator. Those are for the buttons, and as you can see up here, I'm calling CSS2. This is style sheet number 2. Those are for all of the buttons, and inside each button I've called the style sheet for each of those buttons. Those are the style sheet declared up here for the buttons, and CSS number 2 for the, that's for the form. So let's come right down again there. So if you don't want to create all of the program, you can just have fun with the calculator and just see if you can carry out any improvement on it. Now, and finally right underneath here is the JavaScript that I use for the calculation there. So let's bring this down so that you guys can see it all. There we go. So I'm going to run it now. Save first. Okay, to run it properly, I'm going to use my server here. I presume you guys have one, so let's come in here, and I will then open up my browser, and there we go. That is it right there. Okay, you go to localhost, whatever directory you have, and just enter the name of the file, billing dot. So because you don't have any value in here, if you click on submit, that's what you end up with. You end up with 0. But supposing we enter a value here, let's say we enter 3, there we go. You see it added it all up. And let's get rid of this. So let's say we have 0, everything becomes 0. So let's enter some more values in here there. and we can then enter the customer's details in there. Let's say the name is Kingsley, and let's say his male, date of birth. If he wants to enter his date of birth, that's cool. Telephone number, email address, let's say qk@gmail, and so on. Okay, he lives in Old Town Road, Brixton, and let's enter London City, and here what shall we call that? Let's say Carlton Vale, and postcode. There, that is it, guys. So with that, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed, and if you have a comment, please pass it on, and please subscribe. And for those of you who would like to be a member, that would be great if you can be a member of my channel. And thanks for your cooperation. Have a nice day, and bye for now.